All right, we are back. We're getting ready to talk about example 5. Before we do that, we have to talk about this vocabulary term, which is called vertical angles. Okay, vertical angles are two non-adjacent angles. They're two non-adjacent. That means, they're just non-adjacent, right? Formed by two intersecting lines. Okay, so if we look at this figure right here, what we have is there's two intersecting lines, right? The angles that are non-adjacent would be angle 1, right, and angle 3. Those are called vertical angles. Okay, so we can say that angle 1 and angle 3 are vertical angles. The cool thing about vertical angles that you'll learn in a little bit is that vertical angles, they're congruent to each other, right? So if this was like 60 degrees, this is 60 degrees. So I always like vertical angles. Vertical angles are fun. Do you see any other vertical angles in this picture? What about this? 2 and 4, they're non-adjacent and they're formed. So those are another pair of vertical angles. 2 and 4. Vertical angles, and they are also congruent, but they're not congruent to this. They're different, right? So I would put 2 arc marks there. And so I could say that angle 2 and angle 4 are also vertical angles. All right, cool. So let's look at this example here. It says name the pairs of vertical angles. So we just have to name them. That's it. All right, so we have two intersecting lines. It's the two vertical angles that aren't adjacent. They're non-adjacent. So I'm going to say my first vertical angle pair would be right here with this one. They're vertical angles, those two. So I just need to write that down. So I'm going to say angle HMJ and angle LMK are vertical angles. I'm going to say angles like that. And then there's another set, right, which are these ones right here. And they're also vertical angles right there. So that's the second set of vertical angles. So we have angle, what would this one be? HML and angle JMK are also vertical angles. So boom, there you have it. All right, now it's your turn. I want you to name the vertical angles in this picture. So here's my friend. The pause dragon, remind you to pause. When you get done, go ahead and press play and we'll talk about your answers. All right, we're back. Let's go ahead and list the vertical angles. So they're formed by two intersecting lines, which is what we have here. So one set of vertical angles would be these angles right here, right? So I'm gonna call those angle EDF and angle GDH are vertical angles. And then the second set of vertical angles would be right here. Okay, that would be GDE, angle GDE, and angle FDH. FDH are vertical angles. So if you got those right, great job, and go ahead and get started with your homework. All right, we will see you next time. Goodbye.